Hey everybody, and welcome back to another edition of Community Rewind. I'm your host, Alex Mead, and once again this week we are jam-packed with a ton of stuff. So let's go ahead and dive right into it as we send it all the way up to Louisville, Kentucky, to the Assistant Director of the Louisville Education Center for Campbellsville University, Deborah Thomas.
Well, in 2012, I was a realtor in the industry of real estate. All of a sudden, the whole market just shifted. And I could no longer afford to continue in that profession. So I decided that there was something inside of me that had a lifelong dream to pursue my degree. And I thought, if I'm going to do it, if I'm going to invest in my time, in my life, this is the perfect time to invest in me. I've invested in so many other places and so many other opportunities and so many other entities and organizations. And I thought, this is time for you to invest in your own life. And so I pursued going back, and I made the call to Campbellsville University. And when I made that call, I knew it was the right place for me. The staff was friendly. The staff was understanding. They were caring. They helped me walk through every process of admissions, which for me, coming back after being out of high school for 38 years, was a daunting task. I was so afraid. I kept thinking, every step, are you really doing the right thing? Is this the right time? And every time I made a step, the staff and faculty was there to help me to say, you're on the right track. This is a great time for you. So I realized that what I was previously doing was a great thing. It was absolutely wonderful. But I did notice that my season was up and it was time for me to pursue something greater. And I decided that coming back and doing my degree in pastoral ministries, because I wanted to be a chaplain. And so I came back to begin that process of what I needed to do to become a chaplain. And what I did discover was the path that I was on was the right path. I was going in the right direction. When I got to a certain point in my degree, that God was thrusting me into something different, not greater, but something different. And so I was excited to learn that now God was opening a door for me for education, not just to pursue my degree, but to help others to do what I did. And so I was so encouraged to come to Campbellsville University, where they were flexible and still are, where they were affordable and they yet still are. And then they were local. I didn't have to go to another part of the state to attend a great university. Now, when I say that they were affordable, one of the great things that I realized that the value and the quality of education was not diminished because they were affordable. So that was a great opportunity. So again, at the ripe age of 55, I came back and pursued my degree because it was a lifelong dream. And Campbellsville University was the right place for me to do it. One of the great opportunities that I discovered as a student, and I remember this scripture that says that if we trust in the Lord and do good and dwell in the land, that He will allow us to be fruitful and that we are able to obtain the goal and the blessing that He gave us. And I noticed that at Campbellsville University that I continue to hear over and over again at a Christian university, which, by the way, I was excited to be a part of as well. But what I continued to hear over and over again was the faculty, my professors, telling me that you can do this. You can do this. You are no different from anyone else that has been successful. You may be older and you may think that is a barrier. You may think you have a learning barrier, but the hunger and the desire for knowledge will continue to increase as you read, as you study, as you write, as you journal. So the success as a student the foundation was already laid for me. The success had been tried and tried from one student to the next student, and that I was no different from any other student, and the success for them was the same success that would be for me. As I go back and think about, again, the quality of education and the value of the education that I've obtained here, and then the different formats of learning, the creativity that my professors would have in making sure that I was obtaining information. And as I looked at their professionalism and how they carry themselves, and again, going back to that mentoring piece, I felt that I had lifelong mentors here, that I really wanted to be a part of that. I thought this is a great team. I felt, again, the quality of education, the quality that was in the atmosphere at this university, but yet they did not have the appearance of loftiness. You know, sometimes you get that in education, in academics, that loftiness that was not there. But yet it did not diminish the quality that I obtained while here. And I wanted to be a part of that. So transitioning from being a student to being on staff, and have now had the opportunity to teach a few courses, has been a great and tremendous experience. I would not trade it for anything. I am so glad to be a part of Campbellsville University.
Seeking to enter the nursing profession as a licensed practical nurse? Campbellsville University is here to give you the knowledge and experience you need to succeed. If you would like more information about the LPN program, please join us on Facebook Live for a Q&A session on Campbellsville University's Facebook page. There are 2 sessions. Join either on Thursday, August 13th or Thursday, September 3rd. Both will take place at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sharon Thomas, our program director for Main Campus, and Sharon Blair from our Harrodsburg campus will be there to answer any questions you might have about becoming a licensed practical nurse. If you have any questions about how to attend this Q&A session, please send us an email or give us a call. We look forward to hearing from you.
And welcome back to Community Rewind. As many of y'all know out there, athletics are extremely fluid at this point. No one really knows what direction everything is going to head, but we will still send it to our athletic alumni director, Daryl Peopler.
So COVID-19, has had an effect on my family because, number one, my wife is on the front lines working in healthcare with St. Joseph Hospital, CHI Health. So knowing that she is there and exposed, and going to work every day is a bit worrisome, but, they're taking the proper protocols to make sure she is safe. As for me, it's different. I'm not used to being home. I'm used to being either on the road somewhere or, in Campbellsville. And so just some adjustments to juggle. When the girls were still in school before summer break, I'm the athletic alumni director. I'm the 7th grade teacher, and I'm the 4th grade teacher. So it's trying to juggle those things while still serving our alumni at school was a bit tricky, but we were able to adapt and overcome. And there's also been some blessings come out of all of this as well. So just like you said, the Lady Tiger basketball alumni, we've got 3 that are battling this thing on the front lines as nurses, and then all across our alumni base, whether athletics or not. We've got remarkable people doing remarkable things, serving the communities, loving on people. and really providing a service that that only a Campbellsville grad could do, as far as, doing a job and doing it well, but making sure you do it with the compassion and the love of Christ is something that's pretty special. This fall, we're very excited. We've got so much going on. Our new athletic field house was completed. We moved into it last August. There's still folks that haven't been able to come back and see that. That facility is phenomenal. It's crazy that it's on Campbellsville's campus, but it's there, and it's a great piece to put in the middle of the athletics plaza. The new plaza itself is beautiful. I mean, with the landscaping and the lights and and the work that's been done to transform Tiger Way into really a work of art is something that's pretty remarkable. And then the new press box that's gone up for the soccer football fields. It's beyond words, really. It's one of those things you just have to see to believe it. So we've got things planned this fall. I know there is a large athletic alumni across all sport reunion that's supposed to be taking place during the weekend of homecoming. Now that's, of course, based on any new mandates or regulations that are handed out about folks getting together. But we're looking to do that. Still have numerous reunions with the different sports where folks can come together, celebrate their program, and cheer on the Tigers. But we'll adapt, and if something happens that we can't get together in person, we'll do some virtual events, we'll do some virtual tours, and make it to where the alums can still be connected to their alma mater and be able to share that with their friends and family as well. We've got opportunities to really love on our students, and people always ask, how can I be involved? And there's really three ways. Number one, pray for the students, the coaches, our faculty and staff, that they're able to come in and do their jobs, do it well, be focused, and see the success that we need to. Secondly is recruit students, potential athletes. I just got off the phone with Denny Howard yesterday. He's in Cincinnati. He's requesting admissions materials to be able to hand out to some kids there locally that are interested in Campbellsville. So that's great. That's keeping a stream of students, potential students coming into CU. So we recruit for us. And lastly is to be able to give back. As athletes, we were all taken care of very well, and we have an opportunity now to turn around and do that to the students and the athletes that are in the shoes that we had filled in previous years. There's multiple ways you can do that to support your programs. Right now, all the lockers on campus that are in athletic facilities, for $150, you can name those lockers, put your name, put a brief message if you want to, in the locker of that athlete. There's offices that can be named, and then, of course, the new press box has all kinds of different rooms and areas that you can name and honor someone for yourself, for a team. Just a great way to show the support and the love for the programs that has impacted our lives so much. And it's also, some of those have a larger price tag than others, but you can also break those down over a multi-year pledge. It makes it really affordable. You'll be surprised at what you can do if you spread it over a few years. So be sure to get in contact with me or Jason England, either one, Big Maroon Club Director. We can get some information to you, and just really want to see folks step up, support our Tigers. And also while you're doing that, you're able to kind of relive some of the glory days and the memories that you had while you're on the field or on the court, and share those with your family, share them with the current athletes, and just really have a good time doing it.
Hello, my name is Dr. Terry Wilder, and I am the director of Campbellsville University's new Master of Divinity program. Our degree is 75 hours in length. It can be completed in 2 years, and it is fully online at present and later will be offered on our Louisville and Harrodsburg campuses. The degree is academically rigorous, it's biblically based, It's intentionally evangelistic, and it's designed to prepare God-called men and women not only for a lifetime of ministry, but to be competent and knowledgeable in advancing the gospel across the world. You'll be able to study with scholars who love the gospel, who know their fields, who are involved in ministry themselves and are engaged in their local churches, and they're here to help you. This program is ideal for those who are preparing to be pastors, or missionaries, or chaplains, or who want to lead a parachurch organization of some sort. The degree is regionally accredited and affordable at $299 per credit hour, which makes it less expensive than most seminaries and universities who offer the same program, and financial aid is available. The admissions prerequisite to this degree is a bachelor's degree with a 3.0 GPA. If you have completed Campbellsville University's Master of Theology program, those credits, all 30 hours, will transfer into our MDiv. If you're interested in this program, please call me at 270-789-5039 or email me at tlwilder, W-I-L-D-E-R, at campbellsville.edu. I would be happy to speak with you.
One last person for us on this week's edition of Community Rewind, as we will send it to the Executive Director of Ministry and Church Outreach, Jamie Lawrence.
I think back 50 years ago, this would have been so detrimental to so many churches if they had to shut down. We are blessed to be in the time that we're living in, to have the technology we have, even to do video calls and things that we can do now. It's amazing. So to see what some pastors who lived through those older days now, who are not as tech savvy, maybe even have struggles answering the telephone at times because it's, where do you swipe? What do you do? They're having to set up their phones on their desk, and they're doing Bible study online. And what I've found with several of them, they're realizing that they're reaching more people now than they've ever reached before. Their videos are going around the globe, and it's really kind of interesting to see that a pastor who is maybe in his 70s, his daughter or granddaughter is helping set up his phone on his desk, and he's preaching, and someone on the other side of the world can hear him preach. Church Outreach is a ministry that connects with churches on a regular basis, and we're always talking with pastors, and we have good relationships with pastors. And when we had to cancel a lot of our students going into churches because of the pandemic, we wanted to make sure we kept those relations up. So we've stayed in good contact with many pastors. One of the things I did was went through and I called somewhere between 7 and 10 pastors and did interviews with them on the phone, on conference call with some and some just individually, and ask, what are you doing? What's making it work for you right now? What are you seeing? And many of them said that, obviously it's a shame to see the sanctuaries empty on Sunday morning. He said, one pastor said specifically, it's time that we become the church. And I thought that was a really great line to hear from a pastor. There's been a couple of pastors I spoke with who were a little discouraged because they were struggling with the technology side, but they were starting to catch on to it. So it was getting there. But for a lot of the pastors, it was like, how are we going to do this? Let's get on this. And that first week, they were ready to do online ministry, and it's been working for them ever since. I've heard several pastors say that, even the offerings have not dwindled. The church is being the church. They're going out and they're being responsible. They know that this is part of what they do. They're going to witness to people wherever they are. And if it's online, sharing devotions. I see more scripture being shared on social media right now than ever before. It's starting to become a global epidemic itself, global pandemic of Christianity is being spread. So I do love that part of it. It's in the spite of all the hardships and all the things that are going on, to see the church really thrive and start to come through. That's a blessing. So we were looking at how we're going to transition from just church outreach to church outreach and campus ministry, and put those things together with the other areas of ministry on campus and see how we can really make this work. So we've been on calls with each other, with Jasmine and I, with Austin Greer, who works in our office, and Mildred Dominguez works in our office. And the four of us have been really planning and working on how we make this work. And, we're looking at FCA, we're looking at Bridge to Success and these areas that we're working with, and how it's going to come under one umbrella of faith and community. And so we've already been in that part of communicating with each other. So it's actually been a little bit easier by doing it through video conferencing, if that makes sense. And so when we couldn't meet together, well, now we have time set aside. We're going to meet, and we can do it through video chat and stuff. So we've already been in that conversation, trying to get those things organized and working on that. So that's one of the things that church outreach has been doing through this. It's given us the opportunity to lay the groundwork for what faith and community is going to be. And so that's been really good to have that time to do that. We miss our students. If you know anything about church outreach, we're very involved with students, with their students' lives and what's going on with them. And to go, 6-7 months, feels like 10 years almost, not having students around, it's been down for us. That's one of the downers for us. We do spend a lot of time with those students and know about them. So we've gotten to communicate with them a little bit. Early on, I put together a couple music videos, had students singing to a camera on their computer and then laying that music together. And we released a couple of those videos of students singing together. So it was kind of neat to see. And but for me personally, it's been good to kind of step away from it a little bit, to have a little bit of breathing room. And really take a step back and reevaluate what we're doing, what's going on, and how's it going to affect everything? What's the schedule going to look like? What's it going to look like for the next year? And of course, going into the next year, we're not out of this thing yet. So that's another phase of things we're looking at now, and how's it going to work, and all the details. So it's new all around for us, no matter what. It's just a little bit more difficult with the pandemic going on.
And that's going to wrap things up for this week's edition of Community Rewind. Remember, if you missed anything at all, in this week's episode or in previous episodes, you can always head on over to WLCUTV.com, scroll down until you see the Community Rewind icon, click right there, and you can find all the episodes free of charge from Campbell's University and WLCU. Alright, so for Deborah Thomas, Daryl Peebler, and Jamie Lawrence, I've been your host, Alex Mead, and I will see all of you all next Friday night for more Community Rewind.